to Jay's Techie Crown. If you're watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe. Come, let's get into the video. In this video, we are going to discuss about the cost of living in USA. So when I discuss about the cost of living in USA, what are all the factors that we need to consider as part of the monthly expenses, which includes insurance, food and groceries, kids expenses and other travel expenses.
This video will help everyone who are planning to travel to US for the first time and for the people who are already living in USA to analyze and understand what are all the expenses they need to meet out on monthly basis and what are all the places they will be able to save on their monthly expenses.
Housing. So when I talk about housing, the housing is one of the major criteria or major factor that a person would be spending in USA. Based on the location and the city a person resides, the expense varies. For example, if a person is living in California, San Diego or in some parts of LA, then the rent would be between $2,200 to $3,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment. And in case of single bedroom, it will be between $1,500 to $2,500. And similarly, if a person is living in a middle level city like Texas, in Houston or in Dallas, then the rent would be between $1,500 to $2,000 USD. And in some of the other states like Iowa or Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, the rent of a 2-bedroom would be between $900 to $1,350. So rent is one of the major portion of the expense that a person would be spending on his salary. If you are living on an individual or townhouse, then the rent varies. Also, if you have your own house, then you will be paying a loan. So the loan percentage varies based on the interest rates. So you have to take into account all these factors as part of expense. The next important thing that a person has to consider is on the insurance. When you talk about insurance, there are two types of insurance a person has to pay in US. One is the car insurance and another one would be the medical insurance, which we call as health insurance. The car insurance varies based on the model, type, year and your driving history. On an average, a person has to pay between 100 to 150 USD. It is purely based on the state you are living in and the type of car or the model of the car and your driving history. So it varies between $80 to $150 on a monthly basis. Next one is a medical insurance, or we can call it as a health insurance. It is mandatory that a person has to take a health insurance, otherwise it will be tough in US to meet out or to consult with any doctors. So the health insurance varies based on the type of plan you choose for. In case if you go for a PPA plan, then you may end up paying more insurance and there will be a copay with a minimal amount. So it is purely based on the type of plan you choose for. For a family of 2, if you go for a middle level plan, then it will be 150 USD, and in case of family of 4, then it may be cost about 300 USD. The next important expense would be on the food and groceries. For a family of 4, they have to spend a minimum of 600 to a maximum of 1000 USD based on their number of members in the family and their daily needs. So this includes groceries and other daily needs like oil, detergents and other dishwashing liquids, so a lot of other items. So you will be spending from minimum of 600 to 1000 USD for family of 4. And second is the restaurant expenses. At least you will be spending weekly once in a restaurant. At least if you are going for twice in a month, then you will be end up spending 100 USD for a family of 4. Next important expense would be clothes. Most people used to buy clothes at least once in a month, so they will be spending minimum of 50 USD. So we have to take into account all these expenses. The next important expense that we need to consider is the kids expense. So mostly if you have kids, then you will be sending them for any of the extracurricular activities like learning music, or in case of learning some of the martial arts, then you will be spending more on that. So just consider that you will be spending 200 USD for a kid. So it's based on the number of kids you have and the number of extra courses that you're sending for, then it might vary. So I just given 200 USD, and you'll be end up spending for some toys, diapers, and if you're having a baby of less than 1 year, then you'll be end up spending for diapers and other basic items for the kids. Just you can mention like 50 USD for that. The next important expense would be travel and others. So monthly you will be spending minimum of $125 for gas, nothing but petrol, in order to just transport between your office and home. So, and then you will be spending some time with friends. So, you'll be traveling using your car. So, you have to end up spending minimum of 125 USD for gas, and then for car maintenance, you'll be spending 25 per month. Mostly, at least 3 months once, you will be spending minimum of $150 in order for maintenance of car. So, you'll be spending 25 per month, and then the utilities, which includes internet, electricity, and gas, which is almost 200 USD, and then mobile bills. If you are a family of 3 or 4, if 2 members are using mobile phones, then you will be taking a minimal plan. So the minimal plan would cost 50 USD per person, which comes to almost 100 USD. And then international travel. So most people will travel at least once in 2 years, and that is optional. And some people will fly quite frequently, once in a year. So based on the number of members and the time of travel, it may vary, and it's optional. So I'm not going to include the international travel cost, but you can consider that as well. And this gives you an idea about the overall monthly expenses. So far we have discussed about the lot of factors. Now I have given the summarized list of items. So the rent, which may cost around 1500, car insurance on a month it would be between 100 to 130, and health insurance, which may cost to 300 for a family of 3. And for food, you may be spending 100 for eating in the restaurants. And groceries, as I discussed before, it includes all the veggies and then the daily needs like oils, detergents, dishwashing liquids, and every other things, which cost almost to 800 USDs. And loan due, which I missed to discuss in the previous video, which is nothing but if you purchase the car as soon as you come to US, then you'll be spending or end up paying a loans for your car, which may cost between 300 to 500. It's purely based on the type of car you choose. And the mobile bill, which is almost 100 USD for 2 people. And utilities, as I said before, for electricity, internet, and other things, which may cost almost 200. In some of the apartments, they may be even charging for the trash and for sewage treatment. So you'll be end up paying extra for those things. And gas or petrol, you'll be spending 200 USD. And kids expense, which means for all the toys and for any electronic gadget, you'll be spending almost 200 USD. And then the travel. So at least during the summer, you'll be traveling to different places as part of entertainment. So you'll be spending minimum of 400 during your travel on a month. So you can make it as an optional, but it's not going to happen on every month. At least once or twice in a month, you'll be traveling. And then miscellaneous, which includes all the other items, like if some damage happened to your car, or if something broken in your home, then if you want to replace, or if your battery has gone in your laptop and if you plan to buy something. So it's not going to be an usual thing, but on occasionally or sporadically it used to happen. So miscellaneous have given 250 USD. And then IRA, which is nothing but the retirement account, you'll be spending minimum of 500 USD if you have an IRA account as part of savings. So you can consider that as well. And then the car maintenance, which is 100 USD. And then the medical copays. So what I discussed in the previous slide is about the medical insurance, where you'll be spending minimum of 300 USD for a family of 3 or 4 as part of medical insurance. But apart from medical insurance, there are certain criteria where you will not be covered under the medical insurance. If you end up going for a special cosmetic things, then you will be end up out of pocket. And similarly, for any scans that you have taken, there may be a copay fees that you have to pay. For example, if the hospital charges you 300 USD and your insurance may pay for almost 200 or 220, and you'll be ending up paying $80. So that comes at a copay. And then the international travel. So I have not mentioned anything about the international travel charges over here. At least if you're planning once in a year for 2 members, it may cost almost 2000 USD and extra. So considering all these factors, I would say that monthly expenses for a person with a family of 3 would be 5,380. And this may vary based on the number of members in your family and the type of state or the location where you are living and your lifestyle. So it is an approximate amount. And if you are a family of 2 or if you are a bachelor, then you can just consider yourself reducing some amount. So the major portion will be on the rent, If you are a bachelor, then you may share basis, which may end up saving you almost $800 to $900, and all the criteria you can reduce the amount based on the expenses you will be meeting up. I hope this video helps you to give an insight about the overall expenses that a person will be end up spending in US.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit like as a token of thanks.